Hey, welcome everyone to the Lions Den. I'm Jimmy Haas, along with Coach Ryan McAdams. Welcome to a Monday morning. Season is about 3/4 over, and we're in the stretch run now. And UA Fort Smith in the MIAA for the first season, away from the Lone Star. And Coach, you had two very exciting games. One Thursday, one Saturday. Your team played a lot of minutes, both overtime games. There was a lot of minutes on the floor, and I can tell you this much: they gave everything that they had, and there was not a moment that team didn't hustle.
Yeah, we had a chance to win both games. Really proud of the kids' effort and just the way they kind of withstood the week. We had a long week as a program, so we're, you just don't know what is going to happen along the way of, like we were talking before getting on air, just there's a flu bug going around and a couple kids with strep throat. And so you got kids who have to step up into different roles and expanded roles and responsibilities. And, we did have some kids do that in both games. Two very good opponents. Missouri Southern is right there middle of the pack and I think one game back of us now. And, Pitt State walks in as sixth in the country and, we play them to overtime. So, yeah, really proud of the kids for, withstanding the level of competition and performing. Even though we have the two losses, I shared with them Saturday after the game that I feel very strongly that our team is getting stronger. We're coming together more and more every day, and we're becoming a better, team on the floor in all areas. And so, disappointing results, but really hard-fought games.
So let's talk a little bit about the Missouri Southern game. We went to double overtime. A lot of people wrote you off for dead in the in regulation, but set the play up. Talked to you about it at halftime of the men's game. You set the play up at the end of regulation, and it was one coming down the floor. Didn't take a timeout. It didn't work out, but when I see that. I look back and I hear some fans like, no, take a timeout. It's easy to set up those stands and talk about that. But that's a philosophy that, man, a lot of coaches utilize. Some are more like controlling and not trusting their team. You trust your team.
Yeah, I think, your recruiting shines through different parts of the season, right? And the trust you have in your athletes stems from the recruiting that you do, the development that you work with them on, and you put kids in positions to make plays. In those circumstances, it's 6 in one, half dozen in the other. You have the opportunity to call a timeout and make sure everybody's on the same page and knows what they're supposed to do. Maybe a more intricate set, maybe a more complicated set to guard. You're also giving the defensive team a chance to sub in anybody they think is a better defender on the to put on the floor than their current lineup. And you also give them a chance to take a breath and prepare. And so I liked the flow that we were in at that moment, and I liked the offensive rhythm that our kids had. And, I wouldn't change it. I think, we ended up, turning it over. But Z got into the paint. She got into some traffic and turned it over. But I thought we had the ball where we wanted it. We just weren't able to complete the pass and take a shot. And then beyond that, like I shared with you as well, we defended 3 different possessions in the last 3.5 seconds.
Right.
They inbounded on the sideline in the backcourt. We knocked it out of bounds. They inbounded again. Something happened, and they inbounded it on the baseline or even lower on the sideline. So 3 separate times in the last 3.5, 4 seconds, we got stops. And even though those don't sound like long periods of time, in that moment in a tie game with the game on the line, getting defensive stops, that consistently, even in those 3 seconds, was really, really critical to our developing of confidence on the defensive end when the game's on the line. And
you got stops with no fouls.
Yeah, we put
key.
kids on the line a lot, lately, and Saturday especially, and we're going to continue to work on just defending without fouling. And but yeah, I liked just how we were playing, and Missouri Southern really stepped up. They had 2 kids out that started against us up there, and their coach has been doing it a long time, and their program is very well established. And they were very they're pretty unflappable throughout most of the game. And I was just proud with how we pushed them to the brink. And we had some chances to win both games. We didn't get it done. So, definitely some things to learn from. But yeah, overall, two dramatic games for the fan, I guess you could say. Very entertaining games for the fan.
I think if you could go off the record with the coach from Pitt State, once they got back on the bus, the comment would be, glad that game's over. They knew that they were in a ball game, and to be number 6 in the nation, you have a quality team and a quality program and a good coaching staff, and good players. But the Lions, and I've said it's the reason my preseason predictions for you was so high, because I knew what kind of a team you had, or I felt like in my heart I knew, and I knew how competitive you were going to be, and you proved it. I mean, you pushed them to overtime. Yeah. And they were happy to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, weird night, weird day. An altercation that impacts the remaining kids in the game and the lineups, and a high level of drama and just emotion. Really, that all happened in the first half, about 15 minutes in. They come in and they're everything that they're touted to be. They have, who I think will be an All-American in the post. And, she gave us 10 points in the first 14 minutes of play. She was a problem. We were starting to figure out some double teaming tactics and some things on her. And, they've got kids who can shoot the ball. They have a few kids out of their lineup the rest of the game, and they go deeper into their bench than they had in weeks. And they had multiple kids step up and play massive minutes, make shots. So I really believe that their culture, the foundation that Coach David has, built there, is very strong. They withstood a very dramatic game, a very difficult, adversarial game. Our kids just the same. I thought that we really maintained, we really supported each other. And again, we were in position to win a game. Everybody has the flu bug and illnesses going through their locker rooms right now. I don't use that as an excuse, but I will say that Talisha Brown playing 25 minutes Thursday and however many she played Saturday, she was prescribed an inhaler on Tuesday for increased asthma due to an infection, and so for her to play 50 plus minutes in less than 48 hours with that kind of lung capacity and that kind of health deficiency, we were completely in control of whether or not she should play and clearing her to play. But she's one of the tougher kids I've been around. She showed that last week, and you got her standing on the line with 3 seconds to go in regulation on Saturday to win the game at the free throw line. And I know if she could have that shot back, she would take it back. But when she missed it and she walked off the floor and sat down, we were going to overtime. Believe it or not, I had a smile on my face, and I told her I was proud of her because she was just in a moment that on Tuesday I didn't know that she would be able to get to.
Right.
And, and our kids really rallied around each other, and they continued to play good, hard-nosed physical basketball all the way through the ailments, all the way through just not feeling great. And, again, Pitt State deserved to win. They have tremendous basketball players on their team and, like you say, a great coaching staff. And, we hope to see them again in the conference tournament. We think that we, are continuing to improve and get better and put ourselves in position to win big games in March. And, our kids have a real goal now, with coming that close and not being able to defend home court against, we have 4 conference losses to 2 teams. And, we'd like to see both of them again if we can and, right those wrongs. And, I'm proud of our kids just for kind of their mentality and the cohesiveness and the toughness that they're developing.
Coach, the rest of the season looks pretty favorable as far as travel because you have more home games than away games. This should be a fun run through March. Get to the tournament, and then every slate is wiped clean, and you get a fresh start. So you will get a shot at those teams again, and keep playing. The team keeps playing like it is. Everyone has nicks and bumps and scrapes this time of year, so you can just get them over the flu bug, which I'm fresh back from. We're going to have just an absolute fantastic ride. And I'm glad just to be a small part of it and be able to ride along with you guys because it's going to be some fun basketball.
Yeah, we appreciate everything you're doing for us, Jimmy, and I'm excited for the kids. I'm excited to see our department and our school get to see this MIAA move, come to fruition. We expect to keep, competing and grinding toward March and getting an invitation to Kansas City and being able to be part of that experience and that event. This next week is a massive trip. We go to Fort Hays on Saturday, and we go to Kearney this Thursday. And, those are two very, very quality road games that our kids are going to be ready for. And, this is what you do this for. You do it for not just the experience of getting there, but also just for watching the kids get the experience and enjoy themselves and create memories that'll last the rest of their lives. And, develop relationships with people that they barely knew, mere months ago. And, you go through some difficult things together and you come closer. And, this is that time of year where we start to turn the corner. And, we need to continue to shoot the ball well. We need to continue to get better defensively. The future hopefully holds some really good basketball for us in March.
Coach, I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks for coming in today.
Absolutely.
Man. All right, it's going to do it for the first part of the Lions Den. We're going to take a quick time out. We got Coach Zane Gibson coming in next. We'll talk some more basketball as the Lions Den continues right after this. Welcome back to the Lions Den. I'm your host, Jimmy Haas, broadcasting from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, as we always do, each and every week, or at least we try to. When weather permitting, schedules permit, we always try to host it out here at Randall. We've been around for a long time, 115, almost 116 as far as that goes in years, and fourth oldest Ford dealership in America. Lions ball player Tyler Frederick's with us, and Tyler came to us from in-state, one of the in-state recruits. I know that you had some other opportunities to go to different colleges. What sold you on UA Fort Smith?
Just really the family atmosphere of Fort Smith, and I'm born and raised in Fort Smith, so it was kind of a full circle moment and coming back home.
Mm-hmm. Now you played in Little Rock.
Yeah, graduated from North Little Rock. Pretty storied high school there, so won a state championship, and I love that high school.
Yeah, a lot of history there.
Yeah.
Good basketball players come out of there too. So, what made you go to North Little Rock?
Basketball, really.
Yeah,
it's that storied basketball program that they have there.
So they recruited you.
I'm not gonna say that.
Can't say that. It's been a long running joke that Greenwood is the best recruiting football program in the state, and Northside girls are the best recruiting basketball team in the state. And it's just something I like. I like gigging the coaching staff with. But when you're chasing that dream, I mean, you've got to go where you have the best competition, the toughest competition, to showcase your skills. And I mean, you wanted to play at a higher level. A lot of players are just satisfied with staying in that 1A or the 2A schools, and even though they could play up and play against tougher competition, they don't have that opportunity. You actually had the opportunity to play there, and so it did showcase your skills enough to get looked at to play in college. And man, I'm really glad that you're part of the Lions. You've hit some key shots and played some great defense, and it's always tough, working into a rotation, but you found your comfort zone now. And I remember your first year here, I talked to your mom and dad, and I'm like, just needs to shoot. He doesn't want to make coach mad. I said, he needs to shoot. This kid can shoot. And you hit a couple shots in your confidence there now. Man, you're playing off the charts. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it. Yep, just finding my role within the team. It's not an easy thing to do, but I feel like I've gotten there, and I feel like my role still has some room to grow. Mm-hmm. And it's just up to me whether I can do it or not.
So, in high school, you came in, you were a big fish in a great big pond, but you were still like, one of the biggest fish. And it's the analogy I like to use, because now you're a little fish in a bigger pond, but you found your way. Instead of just staying in the shallows, you come into the deep end, and man, your playing time is increased. You have a fan base here, and that's got to help. I mean, you feel right at home.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is where I grew up. I used to come to all the UFAS camps as a kid. I mean, with Spider and all them.
Oh, man, so, Spider Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, so this was just like coming back home, so it's pretty much a no-brainer for me, and family here, so I love it.
I'll never forget the first time I saw Spider Thomas. Of course, we saw him in practice in preseason, but the first Moonlight Madness that we had when they did the dunk contest, and Spider just wowed the crowd. So, and man, what a fun run that was with Spider and the teams that he was on. It's been a tough year. You guys have been close so many times, and I know that Coach Gibson doesn't take well, yeah, coulda, woulda, shouldas, but the team is playing really good basketball at times. Sometimes, man, those shots aren't falling. I know that has to be frustrating, but you manage to shoot through them and just keep shooting. And as a team, and I've seen it. I mean, the first half just shoot 20%, and then the second half you come out and shoot 80%.
Yeah.
That has to at least be a positive and a motivator for you.
Yeah, we're definitely not moral victory guys,
Right.
but yeah, like you said, the season's been tough. But I think last week versus MSSU and then the first half versus Pitt kind of showed who we could have been all year and who we still can be.
Right.
I think versus MSSU, that was our most complete game, especially defensively. I mean, we held them to 57, 58, something like that, and then we held Pitt to 30 in the first half. So, I mean, if you can hold somebody to 30 and a half, you're going to win a lot of ball games. But, I mean, it's just putting the pieces together still. We've digging ourselves a hole, so just got to stack good days and fight out of it.
So, the mark of a good team, in my opinion, and it may be different, to others, but first half of the Southern game, neither team was shooting very good. They were shooting 28%, Lions were shooting 25%, and you went at halftime, and it was a relatively close game. I don't know what Zane says at halftime, Coach Gibson, what the coaching staff does and it says, but man, come out in the second half, and I've seen this several times this year. You guys were on fire. I mean, you hit the first three looks that you had, and you were off to the races, but you never took your foot off the gas pedal, and that's just mark of a good team.
Yeah, we knew the first 5 minutes were going to be who was going to win the game, basically. So we came out first 5 minutes and had a good run and never looked back from there, really.
What impressed me most about it was we knew, and you've seen it, being in college now, good teams make runs.
Yep.
And they made a run at you in the second half. There was a period where, they got on a run, made some key defensive stops and hit some buckets, but didn't phase you. I mean, you put the points right back up and then one going away. So had to be a great feeling against a really good team.
Yeah, that was definitely our most complete game we've played all season. It's who we know we could be all season long. So we just got to keep having good days of practice, and that'll show up again.
Pittsburgh State, even though I wasn't there, I was watching it, and I mean, very physical team.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you guys held your own. I mean, you played them tough. This was a team that's one of the top teams in the MIAA, and year in and year out, very well coached, good players, and but I mean, you guys got out there and played your game. It's one of those games that's frustrating because you couple of loose balls could have tracked them down. Couple of jump balls gone your way. It's just and I know Coach Gibson's like pulling his hair out because he knows how good this team can be.
Yeah. We just have to put a full 40 minutes together. That's really been our thing all season, that we can play good for stretches, but we haven't been able to put a whole 40 minutes together. And like the first half, we put a good 20 minutes together, and then we couldn't do the same in the second half. So it's really been the key all season, just putting all 40 minutes together.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, it's only going to get better and go up from here because now you've run through the first half of the MIAA. You have more games at home down the stretch, not as many travel dates, and you'll be able to not have to worry as much about classroom work on the bus while you're traveling when you get to the hotel rooms. So to me, that's a plus for you. Shooting at home is always better, and it just seems like the crowd feeds you, and we've had some pretty good crowds, which we hope that they're getting better, they're growing. They've grown from the last coaching staff to this coaching staff. They were coming out of COVID, but that's no excuse, and it's continued to grow. The excitement is growing, and this is a team and a program and a coaching staff that deserve this because playing quality basketball. It's entertaining, and the more people come out and the more people see it, the more people like it, and they're going to come back night after night.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you.
You fought through some tough times this year. At times you've had players that's been nicked up, had the flu, had Roland McCoy being able to come back and play. He's a big plus whenever he could get back in the lineup. So you've worked through some adversity, but man, this team's a fighter.
Yes, sir.
And I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you.
What's been your funnest part about being a Lion so far?
Funnest part about being on the Lions would probably just be practice every day with the guys. I mean, practice can be hard sometimes, but I mean, it's a blessing to get out there every day with them. So just having fun out there with the guys.
How tough is it having a mom that can write an article about you at any time and say, but she doesn't focus on you. I mean, she's Due South Magazine. Anytime that there's anything on Facebook about them, we always try to promote them. But how tough is that? Because she sits back and when you're in media, you see things and you kind of like, hey, why didn't you do this? Or hey, why did you do this? She doesn't do that to you, does she?
No, she's all right. She's a big supporter of mine.
Yeah.
So I love her. And shout out Due South Magazine.
What about your dad?
He's one of my biggest supporters too.
Yeah.
So
he's always there, man. And,
they don't miss a game.
When you hit a shot, I turn around. Because they always sit right behind me, and I always turn around, and they're just going crazy.
Yeah.
So they're one of the best supporters that we've got, and it's a Lion program. So we certainly appreciate them. We've got some tough games left.
Yep.
A lot of them are at home. So the rest of the season's right in your hands, and I could see you guys getting on a run.
Yep.
and doing some really good things down the stretch. We just need some more fans to come out and watch it with us.
Yes, sir.
You good with that?
Yes, sir.
Let's do that. Tyler Frederick joining us on the Lions Den. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Hey, get out and support these Lions. If you can't make the games, follow them on the MIAA network, or if you're at work and wanting to listen and you can't watch locally, follow us on Fox Sports Radio 103.5 FM. I didn't even mention Jostin or anything today. Have you ever met anybody that talks as slow as he does?
No.
He does, doesn't he? People think I'm just gigging on him, but he really talks slow. Drives me crazy. I'm like, dude, get that sentence out. Come on, let's go. Have you ever met someone like that? I love this guy. He puts up with me. See, he's got the finger on the chin like this. Hey, join us next week for more of the Lions Den. Welcome back to the Lions Den. Of course, it's brought to you in part by Randall Ford. We've got Chris Davis, our sales manager, with us. And, Chris, moving into February and then getting closer to March and March Madness, we've got a lot of madness going on around here, and leading into it in February, there's a lot of things going on at Randall, a lot of ways to save money.
We do have a lot of things going on here at Randall this month. It is Valentine's month all month long. Here it is February, so what we're doing is it's never stupid when you buy from Cupid. Cupid came and visited the lot, kind of like Santa Claus does. He was out here on the first day of the month. He was putting little special hearts on various vehicles out there that's rotating all the time. If you come out, think of it kind of like a scavenger hunt where you can just come in, find one of those hearts on a car. It's an extra $1,000 off if you can find a heart here on the lot on cars. It's new and it's used cars.
As well. So one of the ways that they can also save some money is, on our F-150s and our Super Duties.
Yes.
Tremendous markdowns.
Yes. Last month we did $15,000 off F-150s, and it was a tremendous success. But Ford delivered more to us. So Truck Month is coming up this month, so we're going to continue that $15,000 off F-150s. We also have Escapes as low as $350 a month.
That's tremendous. Now, somebody's looking to get into the EV market. We have something that no one else offers.
Yes, this is a Randall Ford exclusive. It's the Randall Advantage. If you buy an electric vehicle from us at Randall Ford, we hear people talk about it all the time. That's why we did this. There's I like the idea of an electric vehicle, but if I want to take a trip, where do I charge it? Do I have to wait in line to charge? What happens if the charger's broke? We've taken care of that. Most people travel 2 to 3 times a year outside of a 100-mile radius of their home. So 3 times a year, you buy an electric vehicle from Randall Ford. We will let you come here And I say rent a vehicle, but it's really not. You can come here and borrow a vehicle for a week, 3 times a year, take a gas-powered vehicle on whatever trip you want to go on, bring it back. We'll take care of yours while it's here. You don't have to worry about range anxiety anymore.
And that's not just once. I mean, that's for the life that they own that EV.
Yes, we give you those certificates 3 times a year as long as you own that electric vehicle that you bought from Randall Ford. We'll also put a charger in your house for free. No charge or no cost for that.
Exactly right. So that's on Lightnings and Mach-E's.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's a tremendous advantage. You don't have to worry about stopping and pump anxiety. You don't have to worry about that. You can get up every morning, unplug your car, drive it to work, drive it home, plug it back in. You never have to stop at a gas station.
Well, and the biggest complaint that I hear about EVs is, well, if I want to drive from here to San Antonio, Texas, it's going to take me so much longer and I waste part of my vacation time. This solves that problem.
Exactly. A lot of people will go and rent a vehicle to travel anyway.
Right.
So you can just look at it like that. You don't even have to worry about paying a rental fee. You can just get a vehicle, put the wear and tear on us. We'll take care of that. Take your trip, bring it back.
Perfect.
All on Randall Ford.
Save that money. Come see us today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.